I'm Janet Napolitano, Democratic Governor of Arizona.
And I'm Tim Pawlenty, Republican Governor of Minnesota. We don't always share the same views,
but we both agree it's time for Congress to deal with the real threat of climate change.
If we act now, we can create thousands of new jobs in clean energy industries before our overseas competitors beat us to it. So come on, Congress, let's get moving. Cap greenhouse gas pollution now.
Governor Pawlenty, you've imposed some of the most aggressive renewable energy mandates in the country. Minnesota's biggest utility, I think I've got this right, must get 30% of its power from renewable energy sources by the year 2020. Is that a conservative solution?
Well, in fact, when we put that requirement in law that we're going to get 25% of our energy by the year 2025, our major utility in Minnesota, XL Electric, came forward and said, you know what, we'll do 30% by 2020. They raised their hand and cooperated with trying to meet that benchmark and are excited about moving to more wind, more solar, more forms of renewable energy. And so they're our partner in this discussion, and they're actually now a leader in the movement towards renewable energy in Minnesota. And we're seeing more and more business leaders, private sector leaders. Yesterday we had Jeff Imhoff, the CEO of General Electric, come forward and said, we can do this. Give us a goal, give us a benchmark, we'll meet it, and we'll manage to it and lead towards it. So the private sector now is responding in very positive ways towards those kinds of approaches in Minnesota and other parts of the country.
As to global warming, I think global warming definitely exists. The National Academy of Science, the leading group of scientific authorities in our country, or one of them, says it exists. I believe it exists based on that and other reasons. And so we have a very serious challenge as a nation and as an international community to tackle this, and the effects of it are potentially very profound, And so we have to take steps to control greenhouse emissions and carbon emissions and the like. We have started that in Minnesota with some very good first steps, but more needs to get done. We can't do it alone. We're going to have to do it in compact with other states, and we are looking into that approach. But ideally, the federal government and the international community would act in unison. They've been unable to do that, but we can do some things and have done some things, and we'll do more as a state to try to improve the outlook for global warming. But I definitely agree that it exists.
You now say that that was a dumb mistake, but weren't you in fact far more committed to cap and trade over those years than you now let on?
Chris, what I said to you on that day and what I've said many other times is this. We did consider and sign into law legislation in Minnesota that would study cap and trade, but we didn't impose it. We signed up to look at it, to review it, to study it, to join with other states to look at it, and we did. And what I concluded subsequently is it's really a bad idea. And this is not in the last 6 months. I sent a letter to Congress, I think about 2 years ago, and at other times have said, I was wrong, it was a mistake, and I'm sorry. It's ham-fisted, it's going to be harmful to the economy. We all, everybody here and anybody else is going to be running for president, if you've got or considering running for president, if you've got a executive position and you've been in the battle, you're going to have some battle scars, or you're going to have a few clunkers in your record. We all do. And that's one of mine. I just admit it. I don't try to duck it, bob it, weave it, try to explain it away. I'm just telling you, I made a mistake. I'm looking American people in the eye and say I made a mistake, and I've opposed that cap and trade approach since. But I think nobody's perfect. If anybody's perfect, come on up here and stand by this podium, because we'd like that person to be running for president.